We are recording.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Jenna Hostetler. I'm a silver consultant, and I've been here. It'll be 1 year on next Sunday. So I've loved everything about this business and this industry. And time management and organization is just something that I've been really good at over the years. Throughout my schooling, I have a bachelor's in dietetics, and I did most of that online. So I had to learn how to manage, getting a degree while being at home all the time. And just in my day-to-day life, I'm a list maker, I'm a chart maker, organizing is something that makes me really happy. So I know that's something a lot of people struggle with, which is why I thought this would be a great training to do. So it looks like a lot of people are pretty new to this business in here today. And so we're just going to talk about, how do you manage your time during the day? Working from home and being your own boss is great, but when you are the one deciding what you do, it's really easy to get lost in just the crazy of the day to day. So I hope all of you have a pen and some paper ready, because we are going to do lots of notes and lists and getting things done. One of my favorite things I like to think about is, so David Ramsey, I don't know if you're Dave Ramsey, I don't know if you guys watch his financial stuff, but he says, manage your money or your money will manage you. And that is the exact same thing for time. If you don't manage your time through the day, then all of a sudden the day is gone and over and you've not gotten anything done. So how many of you, when you start your day, you have a list of all the stuff to do, and then you get distracted or one thing comes up, or you're on Facebook to do a mock booking and then you start checking your messages, and then all of a sudden you've opened 3 other tabs, and then that reminds you of something else you need to get done. So then you go off doing something else in your back office, or you start working on a booking, and 3 hours later you've started a whole bunch of stuff, but you've not completed anything. Squirrel, yep, me, yep. Okay, so today we're going to figure out how to get over that and make your day work best for you. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to create a to-do list. Just now sitting on my computer since 12, yep. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And you guys are going to see everything that I do every day. So we're going to get into numbers. I am an Apple girl. I do everything on my iPad. And let's see, where's my calendar? To-do calendar. Okay. So on your piece of paper or whatever you have, I want you to make a to-do list. And it is going to start with everything that you normally do throughout the day. So do you go to work? Do you go to church? Do you have small group? Do you do things with your kids? You're going to list everything that you do on a day-to-day basis. And then in addition to that, and I cannot see the chat box while I'm sharing my screen because I am on my iPad, so feel free to unmute yourself and ask a quick question. So everything you do on a day-to-day basis, everything you want to get done, is it team building? Is it trainings? Is it mock bookings? And then I divide mine up between travel related and non-travel related. So if I need on Monday, I need to call my pharmacy. So that is on my to-do list. If there's errands that I need to run, it's on my to-do list. If you're new and you want to order business cards, you need to stick it on your to-do list. So I'll give you about a minute to think of everything day-to-day, business related, anything that you need to get done during the day. And then next to that, you're going to say whether it's urgent or whether it's not. Because it is really easy to look at a very long to-do list and not know where to start. And if you don't know where to start, you're going to feel overwhelmed. You're not going to get anything done because it seems like too much. And if I'm going too fast and you guys need more time, you just let me know. So once you know what is urgent and what is not, you are going to mark it, categorize it, whatever, how much time is it going to take to do? So if you have 10 things that are urgent and need to get done this week, you're going to start with whatever can get done the quickest. What are your quick 5-minute tasks? If you need to follow up with a client, is that going to be a few minutes and you're just going to get out of the way? If you need to follow up with a prospect, does that look like shooting out a quick email? Is it sending a message? Is it just calling and seeing what they're up to? Because then what you're going to do later on is you're going to start with the quick get them done tasks. If you have a list, again, of 10 things you need to get done during the day, and you have one thing that's going to take 2 hours, you're going to start with the quick things. It feels like you make a lot more progress when you can cross things off your list. So if in 30 minutes you can get 5 things off your list, you're going to feel a lot better about the day than if you spend 2 hours and you only get one thing done. It's all mental.
Excuse me, Jenna.
Yeah.
How did you create this to-do list? Is it actually is it in the spreadsheet?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Is it in the is it in your Outlook calendar that you've created this to-do list?
This is on Numbers. It's like Apple's version of Excel.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Google has one too, the Google Sheets.
Yep. Okay, so now that you have your to-do list, you're going to make a daily schedule. It is going to start from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. And you are going to manage every minute of your day. It's not micromanaging. It doesn't get overwhelming because once you know what you need to do, the day is much easier. So start out by what's your set schedule? Do you work from 8 to 5 every day? Do you have church on Sunday? Do you have church on Wednesday? Do you get together with your friends every Friday? What do you do on a daily basis? And you're going to write that into your daily schedule. The things that are permanent, things that are immovable, things that you, no matter what happens, have to get done. And then once you have and you don't have to do all this right now, but just make note of what we're talking about. Because then once you have your regular daily schedule figured out, then you know how much time you have left during the day. You know, what time do you start supper? What time, how long does that take? Do you need to get kids to bed? And what time does that start? Because if you realize after making your regular daily schedule that you only have, 2 to 3 hours a day, then you can better manage what that time is going to look like. And you will be much better at making use of that time and getting things accomplished. So for example, I'm going to show you what I did. This is my current daily schedule. So I'm right now in my internship so that I can become a dietitian. So through October, that is 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, not an option, has to get done. So that's in my red. I have a 1-hour lunch break. And I've decided that that's when I'm going to make my random phone calls, like when I call the pharmacy on Monday, because generally at 5 o'clock, everywhere's closed. So that's my only break to do it. Then after my internship, I start doing travel stuff because it's fun, it needs done, and it's a nice break and a change up from doing dietitian things all day. And then I allot about 30 minutes for supper. That's how long it takes me to eat. On the weekends, I have certain time for travel. I have time for studying for my exam, extra time for team building and training. And then I schedule time that I'm not going to do anything. So Saturday evenings, I know it is okay to hang out and watch a movie and do nothing because I have things done earlier in the week. So once you kind of get this layout, you are going to combine your to-do list with your daily schedule, which is what I've done over here. So I'm a color coder. Like I said, I'm a chart maker. I'm a spreadsheet maker. I color code everything. So my number one priority until the end of October is my internship. That is number one. I made it red and it's number one. My number two priority is travel because I really want to grow this business. And then it just goes on from there. So in my team building time, I've written down what does that look like. Team building looks like getting on LinkedIn, checking those posts, looking at those applicants. It's getting on Facebook and posting. It's making sure my Calendly schedule is up to date with when I'm available and when different trainings are. So the point of doing all of this is when it's the end of the day and my internship's done, I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. And it's not to say that this can't change, but when you know what you're supposed to do and you prioritize what you should do, it's easier to say, you know what, I didn't get my study questions done today, but that's okay because travel is a bigger priority for me and what I did had to happen. So I made this schedule like a week ago because I knew this was coming up. I updated it. And so far this week, I've not stuck to it hardly at all. I've done my internship and then I've done my travel stuff. My study questions, my study guide, that hasn't happened, but I'm okay with that because in my mind, I know travel is number two. And just to give you an example, how many of you are doing this full time? How many of you do not have another job?
I don't.
Okay, so that was me. In between quitting my job and starting my internship, I had about 3 months where I was doing this full time. So this was my daily full-time travel agent schedule. I would start my travel day at 10 a.m. That means everything before that, I could, make my phone calls, do whatever miscellaneous things I needed to do. But at 10 a.m., it was travel time. So I started on Facebook. I would post mock bookings. I would post about team building. I would try to find more friends and branch out my friends network. I would search for groups for groups to join for travel, groups to join for team building. I would post and check out this luxury travel page that I'm on. I would do that for 2 hours. And at 12 o'clock, no matter what type of Facebook loophole, black hole I had been sucked into, at 12 o'clock, I get off Facebook. And then I work on making and creating mock bookings. And then when that time is over, I do social media, which was Instagram and LinkedIn. That was just expanding those networks. And then at 3 o'clock, I would give myself an hour for social media. And then at 3 o'clock, if I had bookings to do, I would do that. If I didn't, I would work on team building. If I didn't have team building to do, I would do a training of some sort until 6. And that was my daily schedule. And I got so much accomplished during that time. So the next thing I want to talk about is utilizing your calendar. Right now, can you guys tell what my goal is for right now? Goal consultant by November 30. Okay, so right now this is my calendar. Again, this is my Apple calendar. Everything is color coded. So I know that on the 10th, I have somebody going to Disney. I know that I'm working every day, 8 to 5. And then I have things listed. So I'm doing certain homework today at 4 o'clock. If it's on my calendar, it will get done. And just to show you what my calendar looked like when I was being a travel agent full time, let's go to November. It was full of trainings. And I would have an alert when these trainings would start. So I could be doing my set schedule. And then if I had an alert that there was a training to start, I would stop my schedule, get on my training, and then I could jump right back into my schedule when the training was over. Trainings all day, every day, to learn as much as possible. Okay, anybody have immediate questions on managing time? Does all of that make sense?
Yes.
It can seem like
Yes,
a very
it does.
big undertaking, yes. But and think about it. I mean, when you're doing stuff this week, think about what do you do? How do you need to alter your schedule? And it really, really makes life a lot easier when you have a plan for the day.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, how this is really, really organized, and I think this is very helpful. I'm doing real estate along with this, and so I definitely need to be organized. How do you
Mhm.
start? Do you make a list of every single thing you need to do and then
Yes.
incorporate it onto a calendar? How do you
Yep.
start?
Yeah. So write down everything you need to do. So start with your real estate. I mean, do you have clients that you need to see, people you need to follow up with, just on your day to
Oh, no, no,
day?
no.
Well, mhm.
I'm actually I haven't joined an office yet,
Okay.
but I'm licensed in my state, Pennsylvania, and I'm studying for Florida, and then I do staging.
Mm.
Like I just have like a whole bunch of stuff I'm doing, and then I incorporated the travel.
Okay. So which is bigger priority for you, real estate or travel? Or both?
Real estate right now.
Okay.
Both, but real estate right now. I
Sure.
want to complete, what I started,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to incorporate travel in to get, finished with the training that we're doing
Mm-hmm.
on Infinity. And then I want to, just kind of, like you said, kind of do a training every day and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of build a calendar that makes sense that I can look at and say, this is consistently what I do every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like I'm all over the place and nothing will get done.
Right. Yes. So yeah, so start with your real estate stuff. If you
Mm-hmm.
have, I mean, how much time a day are you going to spend on that? Is it going to be, can it be from 9 to 2 you do real estate and from 2 to
Yes.
6 you travel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, so start
Yeah, I
breaking
can
up
do
that
that.
way and then
Yeah.
look at your to-do
Mm-hmm.
list and divide your to-do list between real estate, travel, and then just day to day.
Okay. Do you have a suggestion as to what kind of type of calendar we can use, or because I'm not good with spreadsheets?
Yeah, so this is the calendar on my iPad. I like the Google Calendar too because it color codes things and it's really easy to see, if the
Mm-hmm.
travel is green, you can see how many green things you have for the day. So yeah, the Google Calendar is nice for color coding.
And do you
And
just go on it every day in the morning
yep,
just to
I
look
look
at
at it
it
first
until
thing
you're
and see
familiar
what there
with
is
it?
to do. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And again, I have alerts.
Sounds good.
Everything has an alert or an hour before and then 5 minutes before. So I know what's coming up.
Oh, now is that something you have on your Google Calendar that can alert you onto your computer?
Yeah. So for instance, this one, an alert and then a second alert. Yeah, you can
Oh,
customize all sorts of things.
okay, cool. Okay.
So back to the to-do list. I want you guys to figure out an easy way to access it and an easy way to edit it. Because if your to-do list is hanging on a piece of paper in your office and you are out at the grocery store and you think, oh crap, I need to get this done, that to-do list is going to do you no good. And I know a lot of people don't like to do everything on their phone, but my to-do list is in my notes app, which is right here. And it is divided. So I can get on there in 5 seconds and add something to it. I can cross something off when I've done. So if I'm on Facebook doing my Facebook things and I think, oh, I need to call this person, I add it to my to-do list and then it's out of my mind because I know I'm not going to forget about it. And then I don't get off track trying to do it right then so that I don't forget about it. So that is very important too, is having a very easy, accessible, and editable to-do list.
Is this the daily to-do list or is this?
This is just in general what I need to get done. So I have a Hawaii trip.
Kind of like just like a brain dump, right? Is what you're saying?
Basically,
Like
yes.
your to-do list is just like the big dump of it all. Like you just dump it all on the to-do list and then you organize it into your schedule.
Well, and
Oh,
so then on
cool.
my schedule, if I know, I know my lunch break, I'm gonna get things done. So I'll check my to-do list. What can I do today on my lunch break? I need to call Apple and I need to call my PCP. So then I can check those off and erase them and I'm good to go.
Well, some people might have a blotter, like a calendar blotter on their desk that they kind of throw things on each day.
Mhm.
Is that
Yeah.
cool too? Yeah.
Sure. The only thing with paper is that, I mean, if you run out of space, you're kind of, then where do you keep going? So, I mean, a spreadsheet is, you're never going to run out of space on it. Okay, so now I would like to move on to organization. So how many of you, I don't, from some of your newer patients, it might not be, or newer agents, it might not be an issue yet, but I can easily get 50 emails in a day from everybody I'm subscribed to. And that can seem super overwhelming. Who else? Anybody else have that problem?
Me.
Most definitely.
Most definitely. So what did I do?
I'm
I
sorry, excuse me. Can you put
Yeah.
the notes, can you put the notes up real quick again so I could just make a copy on my
Sure.
phone? Thanks.
Yep.
I couldn't get to my camera fast enough.
Got
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Uh-huh. So my email, one of the first things I did was create a million folders. I titled them all AT for Archer Travel so they'd stay together. And then I have it sorted on either supplier or destination. So if I get a Disney email that's info I want to keep, I stick it in my Disney folder. Globus, if it's international, I stick it in there. If it's sandals information, I just got their August update today, so I stuck it in my sandals folder. So a couple reasons for doing this is if it stays in your inbox, it's going to get lost. And you're going to know that you had an email at some point that was important that you kind of want to see again, but it's going to take you an hour to find it. Number two, if I have a client interested in sandals, I can go here to my sandals folder, look up the latest newsletter and see information. And it's super duper easy. And then if I have somebody interested in international travel, and these are generally deals, you know, things that are new deals they have happened. I sort them by social media. So a really great way to make mock bookings is to take information from emails. So this one that I got today, well, I looked at it today. This is all great mock booking informations, post pictures. And it's in my social media folder so that when it is mock booking time, I don't spend 2 hours trying to come up with a booking. I go to my social media folder and I take that Southern Charm picture and I make a mock booking about a river cruise in the US. That also means that if someone was to inquire about this mock booking, I go to my social media folder and I know exactly which supplier and what information it was that it came from. So email folders, super duper helpful. Also, if you'll notice on my, if you did notice on my calendar, I set aside time every day to just quickly go through my emails. Because if I can spend a half an hour every day tackling it, it's way less overwhelming. And like this last week, it didn't happen. So I spent about an hour this morning going through 100 emails that were all travel related and I haven't looked up yet. But I sort them, I go through them, and then it's much less overwhelming.
Right, and you could also set up the filters on your email, so that way that email as it comes in, it doesn't go into your regular inbox, it will automatically go into a folder.
But if it automatically goes into your folder, then you have to go through all of your folders.
No, you tell it where to go. You can actually set it up.
Okay. So then something else I do is I make a million notes for everything. So if I get an email with COVID updates, instead of trying to save that email, I type it in my little updates and then I delete the email. So this morning, I read that the Virgin Islands will not accept cruise ships if anyone is unvaccinated. So I stuck that in here. I also saw that Uniworld is now requiring all passengers to be vaccinated. So this is super easy. It's really easy to reference because I can just go into my notes and see where or where not, have vaccination requirements if a client is asking. I also have notes. You can see I have a million. So I have notes for, we'll get into that later. These are just general evolution notes. You can pin them if you're in Apple. So this is all, let's see, general info. When I started, this is my go-to. All of your Archer information, your account information. Who do you contact? So I could reference that if needed. I have evolution training folder. So all of my trainings with Nikki, I dated and made notes. The phase 2 videos, make notes as I go through them. And then some suppliers too, Outrigger. All of my classic vacations. When I was attending a ton of webinars every day, I'd add them in here. And then it's super handy because I had a client recently wondering about Greece for a honeymoon. So I knew that I could go back into that classic vacations webinar and learn a little bit more about Greece because I made a note about it. Okay, so that's organize your email. I went off on a little bit of a tangent there. So how to organize training information, which is kind of what we've already touched on. I have notes for really quick info. So again, this is our rising tide stuff. This is time to evolve on Sundays. What do I learn about? Oh, yep, go ahead.
Somebody's unmuted that doesn't mean to be. So
Oh, okay.
feel free to mute us all.
I don't know if they're asking a question or not. So all of my trainings as far as
What? No, not at all. I was like, I remember we were talking about it, but like I haven't heard any outcasts at all.
Erica, do you want to mute everybody?
I'm trying. I don't know how. I'm looking.
Okay. So all of my specialization trainings are in one folder. So Florida Keys, Globus, Hawaii, Universal. So again, if I have someone interested, I know exactly where to go. Supplier information, again, I have a folder for that too. So one thing to consider, I know this is kind of, I don't know, random, lots of information. For supplier and training information, where can you easily access it that you're going to remember where it is? And where do you have enough storage? Do you have enough storage on your computer, on your phone? Do you need to just make notes? Do you need to have a notebook? Whenever I do trainings, I take a lot of screenshots. So I go in here to my Archer Evolution. I have supplier trainings. And these are just screenshots of those trainings. Greece and Crete, Hawaii, Globus, a live aqua training I did. And it's really easy to just, again, reference that information for when you might need it in the future. Any questions on supplier information? One other thing I did for all of you new agents, I made a list, again, amazing lists of all of my suppliers. If I've registered with them, I write them down and I put them in a category. Because when you're new and you're not quite sure who does what, it's very overwhelming, again, to know where to go, know who to reference. So all my cruises are here. All my packages are here. Vacation rentals, other. If I have signed up to register, but I've not gained access yet, I put it in a waiting folder. And then once I gain access, I move it up. Super simple things that just make your life. First crush, John Travolta. You guys are seeing all of my ins and outs. But yeah, super easy way to just remember everything. Okay, so any questions on supplier trainings? What do you guys struggle with as far as travel information itself?
Well, it's not supplier, but just like we're listening to you today, and I don't have Apple, what would you suggest to non-Apple users as to where to keep your notes?
I'm pretty sure, doesn't Android have a notes app as well?
Yeah.
They do, but I don't.
Google does. It's a
Okay.
really good one.
It does.
Okay, so
Google.
you can take notes as well as she's showing here on Android phones.
Yes,
Yeah.
on Google, it's just good.
Okay.
There are several apps you can actually use on Google that can be put up to use those for.
And if you have a Samsung phone through Android, there is a notes app on the Samsung phone as well that you can take notes in very easily.
Okay. Okay, so next we're going to move on to client information.
There's also Evernote too.
Also what?
Evernote.
Oh yeah, I've used them forever ago.
Mhm.
Okay, so when I get a brand new client, I have a current trips note. So these are all the trips I'm working on, and it's who they are and quick notes about them. What do they want? What do I learn? And then when that is booked, I move it into the old booking notes. Because I've already done this information and I don't want to do it again. So if I have someone wanting to go to Puerto Rico, I already know in Vax who does it and where they go. I know in Pleasant Holidays who does it and where they go. I have the Discover Puerto Rico already there. So it's just, you're not having to reinvent the wheel every time. So you remember everything about a destination.
Jenna,
Yo, yeah.
how many work hours did it take you to do all of this? Because you have a ton of stuff you've done.
I do. Oh man, it takes me forever, but it's like
Okay.
an ongoing process. And
Got
I'm
it.
super. Yeah, I can get sucked into doing this. So
Okay.
it takes a while, but once it's done, it's so much quicker and so much easier.
Right. My other question is, what day of the week and what time of the day do you use to actually plan your week out?
Weekends.
Weekends or weekends? Okay.
Yep, Saturday or Sunday.
Thank you.
Okay, so these are all of my current trips in progress. I wrote them down and when they are occurring so that I don't forget about anybody. So the green one is a lady who's going to Disney on the 10th. It is green because it's booked, it's handled, it's ready to go. The yellow ones have been booked, but there's still some stuff I need to do. So the fourth one down, Mike and Becca, theirs is done, but they have a final payment coming up. The purple one is one that I haven't started yet because I'm still waiting on airline information. So I organized.
I'm sorry.
Yep,
Could I
yep,
ask I apologize.
yep.
I came in late, so I'm a little confused as to you're on your iPhone. What are you using for putting all this information in? I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm on my iPad. I use Apple's numbers.
You're on iPad. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I use Apple's numbers, which is like Excel, and I use their pages
Yes.
like Word.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Gotcha. Okay.
I find that
All
they're
right.
super friendly.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. Yep.
All right.
Can
Bye-bye.
you use your Apple laptop as well? It has the same information.
It does, and it all syncs. I just like the ease of, I just like tapping on my iPad. So a little bit about me, in addition to, becoming a registered dietitian, I do have a spinal cord injury. I am paralyzed and I have been for about 16 years. So I have a mouth stick, which is why touchscreen is my go-to, which is why everything I do is mobile. I do very little on a computer. So just a little info. Okay, yes, so this is my trips in progress sheet. So I can look at it during my booking time and see who do I need to, what trips do I need to work on. They're red because either they got canceled or they were on hold. They're orange because they haven't really committed, they're still thinking about it. So I'm not really worrying about that yet. The yellow ones are the ones that I need to follow up with and do stuff with.
Can I ask a question, Jenna, please?
Yep.
Do you strictly work from home?
Yes, I do.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. So, I mean, so just between, doing online schooling and the crazy schedule of me and my aides and I just have I've had to learn how to make the most of my time, which is why I'm kind of good at all of this stuff.
Can I
Jenna,
ask?
Jenna, I have to say something. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He can go ahead. That's fine.
Oh,
I'll
thank
ask
you.
him.
Jenna, I just want to say this to you. You are an inspiration to me. I am a dialysis patient and I'm also an amputee. I've lost I've lost 2 toes and a heel bone on my right foot. I'm still walking around, so I'm still going out and about without a cane or anything because of prosthetic shoes. But I'm so thankful to you. You are a true inspiration to me. And I just want to let you know I'll be praying for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well,
So why I love this company, because we can say stuff like that to each other.
Yes.
God bless
So I have a
everybody
question.
On here.
Oh.
This is just incredible. This is amazing. And God brought us here. God brought me here today. And I'm inspired as well, Jenna.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so this is Tanya. I also, it actually follows his comments well. I'm, in the process of sorting some chronic health issues. So what have you found in regards to if you wake up one day and have, more on the health side going on, because I'm a single parent as well. So there are days where I wake up and it's like, get her off to school or whatever. And, I already start so much more fatigued than some other days. So how do you account for that?
Those days are going to happen. They happen for everybody. If you have that calendar and you have your priorities, maybe one day my internship is all I can do. And I'm just exhausted after that. So I might do nothing and that's okay. Or I might think, I'm not up for working on this booking, but I can listen through a training. So I might just put a training on, whether it's something recorded in the back office or whether it's something I can look up on Agent Universe, something recorded, or it's a podcast. Classic Vacations, they have a podcast that I listen to sometimes. So I might just sit back and listen to that, or I might just, it's a day, start again tomorrow.
Right.
Okay,
I
thank
have
you.
really bad back problems. And so sometimes I'll lay on the couch and I'll just put either my phone on and do something like you're saying, or if
Yep.
I can, I got my little Chromebook and I'll just flip it around, and I'll put that on just so I feel like I have something done, some progress, because if I don't do anything, I'm going to feel 20,000 times worse because I'm really bad at overthinking and overcomplicating things. And if I get nothing done, it's just terrible.
Yeah. Okay. So, build that into your schedule. Maybe you don't fill up every single hour of every single day because you need buffer time. You need to know that, if you work for 3 hours today, that's good and that's progress.
Jenna, just a quick question, and I'm gonna stop talking. It seems like no, it doesn't seem like you're extremely organized, and to me, that spells success. Is it this business seems to be rewarding, especially for people being able to work from home. Is having all of this said and saying all of this, is it like really rewarding to have this kind of career? I mean, this could be something that people make a living off of if they do it full time. I just don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice to know that. Okay, so when I was in high school, I had no idea if I could even have a job. I didn't know what I could go to college for. Everything I was interested in, I couldn't do anymore. So, being able to do this and work from home and still learn and be so knowledgeable and be able to help people is a huge business job. It's a huge undertaking anyway. And for, all of us who were stuck at home because of whatever, because we have health issues, because we can't work 8 hours a day in typical America. This is still an awesome job. And for me, it's a break. When I have spent all of my day doing dietetic stuff and I'm mentally exhausted, I can easily spend 3 or 4 more hours on travel because I like it and I enjoy it and I want to learn more. So yeah, this job to me has been a huge blessing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so we're almost done. I'm going to show you my itinerary info and how I keep all of that organized. So I couldn't find really good. There was one itinerary thing I found online, but you can only do a couple free before making an account. So I just kind of copied theirs and made it my own. So this is my itinerary for people. I name it based on the date I made it. So ITY 21/6/22, I created that June 22nd of this year. And I did that because I figured I would never be making 2 itineraries on the same day, so I wouldn't have to worry about duplications. So then what I do is I write down, whoops. I meant invoices, not itineraries. My invoice tracker. This is the invoice, that's who it is, that's the supplier, dates of travel, and then I track my commission on it as well. Super handy if you just need to make sure that you're getting your commission when you should be getting it. If you need to look back at when people are going, where they went. I know that Adam went to Hawaii when he went in May. So if I need to look back at, what was his itinerary? Where did he go? How did he like it for another Hawaii trip I'm making? I can do that super quick and easy. So then I also have a folder for all of my client information. So this has their credit card authorization signed. It has their ID. It has their itinerary and all their reservation information. One thing I learned very quickly, and we're going to probably stop here in about 5 or 7 minutes because there is an orientation going on at 3. So one thing I learned very quickly was I do have an itinerary folder in my emails, but I do not keep that information there. If there's a PDF attachment, I stick it in my client folder. Because when I had a group of people in Mexico and there was an issue and they needed to know their confirmation number, it took me like a good 10 minutes to sort through my emails trying to find it. So I started putting client destination information in their folder so that, for instance, when these guys want to know about their cruise, about their sunset cruise in Hawaii, I can go to their folder and look up the info and who I need to call instead of sifting through emails. So client info is also in a folder. I think that's pretty much everything I do. I do have on here how to organize social media. And I don't know, do you guys want to get into that today? Because I'm doing this again next week.
We would love to hear it if you have time.
I'll do it super quick. Okay. So when I make mock bookings, they all go into my post folder. So these are my posts from last year. And what I started to do was number them. Because this one, if your mock bookings are pretty general, they're good for forever. 2 adults, 2 children to Washington, D.C. Price does not include airfare. Price is subject to change, which means I made this in November of last year, but I could use it again today if I wanted. So I number them for a reason, because then I made another spreadsheet, surprise, surprise, of, let's see, posting schedule. These
What
are all
app
my,
was that? What app? I'm sorry. What
That-
app was that?
that-
What,
that's
what app
Pages.
is? What's it
That
called?
was Pages again in Apple.
Okay. Do you know what the equivalent is in Chrome or Google?
It would just be Word.
Word. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so these are all of the groups I'm in, and I write down when I post. So I can post, oh, and I did delete last year's. So I can post when I put in that mock booking labeled number 1, because I can use it for a week and put it in 3 different groups every day. And then you're not recreating the wheel every day. So all of these posts, and we can go over that. I can do a whole training on that if you want. This one doesn't really ever expire because it's general enough that I can use it again. So I could post that again in some of my groups today. And this again, super easy info that I got off of my emails.
Wow, that's smart. I never thought of that. And
Yeah,
have it
so
all
I created,
spreadsheet like you just showed.
yeah, so yep, I created a spreadsheet for all of my Facebook groups that I'm in so that I remember which ones I'm in, especially if they don't show up on my little list. And then I know when I post to them so that I don't exhaust some and totally ignore others. And then I know, when I post, what I post.
Hey, Jenna.
Yeah.
Hey, so how do you do it like that, where it's like all like very advertising and colorful, like those specific?
Yes, that will be a whole training in itself. And if you, we could spend some one-on-one time at some point. But yeah, me making my super quick from email mock bookings.
Yeah, because I like the post. I'd like to learn how to do that.
Yeah, these are really great for Instagram, I found. They're eye-catching and super cool. They're good for Pinterest. I made that one super quick. And again, some things I've learned. Probably shouldn't have put Alma Waterways on there because you don't want them to find it themselves. But yeah, these are all scheduled. Or these are all in my list of when I post and what I post. Go to Miami. Alrighty, let me get back on Zoom here.
Love it.
All of my business apps are also networking together, business together, meetings together.
Thank you so much for this training. This has been great. So helpful.
Thank you. Was I too scattered? This is my first training.
No, you did amazing. Amazing.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Great job.
Excellent. Will you be doing this every next week, Jenna?
Yeah, but it's scheduled next week for this month. If you guys want more, I can do more and talk about other things.
Please.
Please, yes.
Make me want to switch to Apple. I'm an Apple girl. I love it.